Among the countless figures of Greek mythology, none shines brighter than Hercules, better known by his Roman name Hercules. His legend is an enduring tapestry woven with trials, triumphs, suffering, and redemption. He embodies brute strength and unyielding willpower. Yet his story is far more complex than that of a muscle-bound hero. Hercules was a man caught between two worlds, the mortal and the divine, forced to atone for sins not entirely his own, and to prove that greatness requires more than power. It demands endurance, courage, and sacrifice. This article explores the myth, meaning, and legacy of Hercules, the demigod of strength, by examining his origins, his labors, his flaws, and his everlasting place in Western imagination. Origins of a demigod. Hercules was born of Zeus, king of the gods, and Alcmene, a mortal woman. His conception already bore the mark of divine meddling and deception. Zeus disguised himself as Alcmene's husband, Amphitryon, to seduce her. When she bore Hercules, Hera, Zeus's wife and queen of the gods, was consumed with jealousy. She would haunt Hercules' life from infancy onward. Legends say Hera sent two serpents to his cradle to strangle the baby, yet the infant Hercules seized one snake in each hand and crushed them with his infant grip, foreshadowing the immense strength that would define his destiny. His dual heritage, half mortal, half divine, meant he possessed superhuman abilities, but was never fully accepted by Olympus. Hercules' life would be a struggle to reconcile this identity. Hera's curse and Hercules' tragedy. While Hercules grew into a man of unmatched strength, Hera's hatred never relented. The goddess ensured that his life was marked by suffering. In adulthood, she drove him into a fit of madness so severe that he killed his wife Megara and their children. This tragic act placed Hercules at the heart of one of Greek mythology's most profound themes, the tension between fate, guilt, and redemption. Hercules was not evil, yet he bore the consequences of deeds committed under divine influence. His path to atonement became the famous 12 labors, tasks of such impossibility that they symbolized humanity's attempt to overcome insurmountable odds. The 12 labors of Hercules. Each labor tested not only Hercules' might, but also his ingenuity, endurance, and perseverance. Together, they transformed him into the archetypal hero. 1. The Nemean Lion. Hercules' first labor was to slay the monstrous Nemean Lion, whose hide could not be pierced by weapons. He strangled the beast with his bare hands, then skinned it using the lion's own claws. The pelt became his iconic cloak, symbolizing invincibility. 2. The Lernaean Hydra. Next, he faced the nine-headed Hydra, a serpent that grew 2 heads for each one cut off. With the help of his nephew Iolaus, Hercules cauterized the necks after each decapitation, finally defeating the beast. He dipped his arrows in the Hydra's poisonous blood, a weapon that would serve him throughout his life. 3. The Ceryneian Hind. Hercules was tasked with capturing the golden horned deer sacred to Artemis. Rather than killing it, he pursued the swift creature for a year and finally captured it unharmed, showing his endurance and respect for divine creatures. 4. The Erymanthian Boar. He subdued a massive, destructive boar by chasing it into deep snow and binding it alive. This task demonstrated his ability to outwit rather than simply overpower. 5. The Augean Stables. Hercules was ordered to clean the vast stables of King Augeas in a single day. Using his wits, he diverted rivers to wash away years of filth. This labor exemplified ingenuity over brute force. 6. The Stymphalian Birds. Armed with bronze clappers given by Athena, Hercules scared the man-eating birds into flight and shot them with his arrows. 7. The Cretan Bull. He captured the wild bull of Crete, father of the Minotaur, and delivered it alive, proof of his courage. 8. The Mares of Diomedes. These man-eating horses belonged to the Thracian king Diomedes. Hercules fed the tyrant to his own mares, taming them before bringing them to Eurystheus. 9. The Belt of Hippolyta. Sent to retrieve the girdle of the Amazon queen, Hercules initially secured it peacefully, but Hera spread rumors of betrayal, sparking battle. Hercules slew Hippolyta and claimed the belt, blending tragedy with triumph. 10. The Cattle of Geryon. Hercules journeyed to the edge of the world, slaying the 3-bodied giant Geryon and driving his cattle back to Greece, a feat of endurance across land and sea. 11. the apples of the Hesperides. Hercules tricked Atlas into retrieving the golden apples of immortality from Hera's garden, showing cunning alongside strength. 12. The capture of Cerberus. The final labor took him into the underworld. Hercules overpowered Cerberus, the three-headed hound of Hades, and dragged him to the surface. This ultimate conquest symbolized mastery over death itself, beyond the labors. Though the 12 labors are the centerpiece of Hercules' legend, his story extends beyond them. He participated in the Argonauts' quest for the Golden Fleece, fought in wars, and continued to undertake feats across Greece. Yet his greatest battles were internal, against Hera's wrath, against the weight of guilt, and against the limitations of his mortal half. His poisoned arrows, tipped with Hydra's venom, eventually brought about tragedy. In one version of his myth, his wife Deianira, tricked by a centaur's deceit, gave him a tunic soaked in supposed love potion, actually poisoned blood. When Hercules wore it, the venom seared his flesh. In unbearable agony, he built his own funeral pyre. But his death was not the end. The gods, recognizing his immense suffering and achievement, granted him apotheosis. Hercules ascended to Olympus, where he reconciled with Hera and married Hebe, goddess of youth. Symbolism of Hercules. Hercules embodies many themes central to Greek mythology and later Western thought. Strength as both gift and burden. His power allowed him to perform incredible feats, but it also isolated him and drew Hera's wrath. Redemption through struggle. His labors symbolized humanity's path through trial toward purification and eventual greatness. Ingenuity alongside might. Several labors required cleverness, proving that true heroism blends mind and muscle. The tension of mortality and divinity. Hercules' suffering underscored that even demigods are not immune to pain, guilt, or fate. Hercules in Roman and later culture. When the Romans adopted Greek myths, Heracles became Hercules, a model of virtus, manly excellence. He symbolized endurance and heroism, qualities central to Roman ideals. His cult spread widely, and emperors claimed descent from him. In Renaissance art, Hercules reappeared as the emblem of strength and civic virtue. In modern times, he has been reimagined countless ways, as a Disney hero, a sword and sandal warrior, a comic book figure, and a cultural shorthand for brute strength. Why Hercules endures? Hercules continues to fascinate because he is more than a strongman. His story is one of human fallibility, divine persecution, tragic mistakes, and hard-won redemption. We admire his physical power, but we also recognize ourselves in his suffering, his need for forgiveness, and his yearning for peace after endless struggle. He reminds us that strength alone is not enough. It must be tempered with wisdom, perseverance, and humility. Conclusion. Hercules, the demigod of strength, is a hero for all ages. He teaches us that greatness often comes at the cost of pain, that even gods and mortals alike are bound by fate, and that true power lies not only in conquering beasts and armies, but in enduring hardship and striving for redemption. In him, we find the ultimate paradox, the strongest of heroes, yet the most human of demigods. His labors may belong to myth, but the themes of his story, struggle, loss, resilience, and triumph, remain as relevant today as they were in the ancient world. If you enjoyed this video into the myth of Hercules and want more legendary stories from history and mythology, make sure to leave a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.